Hello everyone! I am Sheila Cabarrubias, a Verbum Day missionary disciple from the Couples Reality here in Cebu. I'm happily married to my loving husband Richard for already 11 years now. We are blessed with two wonderful children, Zakiya and Zirakel. I've been in the community Verbum Day for 22 years already. I may have not been very constant in my following all throughout these years, but God has been very consistent. I'm blessed to have joined the Disciples Retreat with my husband Richard during the Holy Week. We have been into many retreats together, and I have been into countless retreats myself. But what made this different from the previous retreats that we've had was when we deepened more on the Verbum Day missionary disciples regulations. I was one of the core group of Cebu who was blessed to work on these VDMD regulations when this document was being formulated during the pandemic. Apparently, I did not realize back then what was it that I was working on together with the rest of the core group. Also, November of last year, Richard and I professed our stable commitment as disciples, and it was then when we received when we first received the hard copy of the regulations. But I never really got a chance to read it and pray about it. Realizing that during this retreat, I felt bad but very grateful to God. God's love and mercy indeed is very abundant. He will never stop until we grow in our process. As the theme of the retreat goes, built up and rooted in Christ, Colossians 2:7. He is the first one who desires that we, his disciples, may grow our roots deep in him, build our lives on him, and become stronger in our faith, with hearts full of thanksgiving. My closest encounter with God during the retreat was when we prayed on Mary, the sister of Martha, as well as through Peter. In John 12:28, Martha went back and called her sister Mary privately and said, "The teacher is here and is looking for you." How intimate Jesus is with Mary when he goes out and look for her. This for me summarizes my experience in my discipleship. In my 22 years, there were probably more absent years than present years. But whenever I run away, wherever I hide, he will always send out countless Marthas in the faces of my family and the Verbum Day disciples who will come to me privately and tell me, "Hey Sheila, the teacher is here and is looking for you." In Matthew 26:37, when Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, only the out of his 12 disciples. That for me was very strong because in Gethsemane was when he revealed to his closest friends what's inside his heart. Why? So that they will understand. Jesus, in his humanity and weakness, needed friends to accompany him. Close friends who will understand all that he is going through and brave enough to do the same. Jesus knows that Peter will never follow unless he understands. Jesus also knows that we, his disciples, will not push beyond our limits unless we understand. Thus, the gift of our disciples' regulations. Our identity in the community is finally defined. The community will never be complete without us, missionary disciples. Our role is vital, and we sustain the growth of the community because, if you think of it, the missionary disciples outnumbered the consecrated missionaries. I am so happy to share with you all that the apostolates here in Cebu are mostly run by missionary disciples, and I'm pretty sure it's the same with the rest of the communities Verbum Day around the world. Thankful to the retreat because God led us to that experience of transitioning from understanding our following from a mere disciples to missionary disciples. Christ has risen indeed in the lives of his missionary disciples, rooted and built up in his love, who wishes to follow him and make him known. VDMD Regulations number 2.